Okay, we are going to start out with public comment. Oh,
Hello.
our board member isn't up here. Did you swear him in yet?
No.
Okay, let's swear him in right now. So let's start with that. All of a sudden, like we're missing. Oh, we are.
Can't go up there till you
Yeah.
swear.
I was wondering,
swear.
I was wondering where you were. I didn't see the corner of the line, I'm thinking, wait a minute. You won, right?
That's what I was told.
Okay.
By a landslide,
I think it was the last time.
As it should have been.
So, yeah, we'll do that first. Well, there, now we can start.
Yeah, Greg's here.
Get on.
Actually, I guess, Dave, you can listen. We could go ahead if there's.
I have a
any
public comment.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, can we, I know it's not on the agenda for tonight, but possibly for the next meeting, can we bring back the proposal for the site plan ordinance?
That's something that would start with the planning commission? Yeah.
Haven't we basically already gone through all that?
Is there a planning commission in existence, or is it, oh,
It's in existence, it has to be.
no, okay.
Yeah, it's by state statute that we are,
We have it.
do have it, yeah. Though we are missing at least one member,
Okay.
so we need to maybe address that next time too. We can, put it on the next agenda.
And along those lines, I noticed that, Dave, I read through version 4. I didn't see anything in there regarding solar as the previous versions have had. I did ask at I think it was the last county board meeting, and this came up, because we instituted a resolution for data centers. And I asked about solar, and I said, can we not set up parameters for solar installations in our township? He said, oh no. He said, you can't tell people they can't have it, but you can set up parameters. He said that came directly from our corporation council.
Well, I guess the legal advice we had at that time is since we don't have our own zoning, we couldn't specifically say yay or nay, but we could put together guidelines that would give the town some say in a type of development. That's what Justin had quoted us on.
John Runstrom out of zoning said that the county passed it.
Yeah, I thought they passed some solar.
They passed it, and since we're under county zoning, that guides us. And so.
Regarding solar, right?
Yeah, so it's possible, you know, I talked to him about maybe what kind of adjustments we would need, but,
I think there's some things we can tweak on that site plan, but, you know, I guess, I wonder if that was corporate counsel that said that?
Yes.
Is he referring to the township or the county?
No, I asked him specifically about the town.
Oh,
Well, that isn't the advice we got because
No.
we didn't have our own zoning, we couldn't zone because we don't have our own zoning.
right,
So, what we could put, what they were is guidelines to give the town board guidance on how a development would fit into our comp plan. And that's basically what it was. But we couldn't,
right, that's the way I understood it. We don't have to, I asked him, do we have to pass ordinances or resolutions to address that, and he said no, because it's under county.
so I mean, something we should do is look at the county one and see.
Right, and I haven't, he sent me the text a while back, long before I was on the board, and
I have to say.
and the data, and I haven't looked at it because, well, it's in the county. You don't issue, then I would go and talk to him and ask him what he had to say.
Yeah, I have one more thing. Also, I think at the last meeting, I believe it was, the county instituted a resolution regarding, excuse me, data centers. And I know that I was talking with Steve Teagues, and he said for Atlanta, they issued a moratorium.
Oh.
They had a special meeting, and they were just simply going to issue a moratorium on that. I think it would probably behoove the town if we issued our own resolution.
For a moratorium.
Well, we can do a moratorium, or, I mean, just a resolution stating that, I was gonna bring the copy of the one that the county issued and I forgot, but,
Well, maybe you could
I
send
could,
that to us.
I could send that to you and possibly work up, some kind of resolution that you could look at and see.
And this is on the data centers.
Correct. Yep.
I mean, I've read there's a lot of towns across Wisconsin are doing
Yeah, so I think it would be good if we also put one in place.
that. And did the county do that?
The county did it they did a countywide one,
Okay,
but I know there are towns that are also doing their own,
yep,
so.
okay, so, moratorium on data centers and site plan ordinance, are the two things that you.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Tom.
So how do you want me to do this? What do you do? Read it out loud?
We should get him aboard now, huh?
Yep, yep, so stand up and
Put
go
my
ahead
hand on the
and,
Bible.
yeah, raise your hand and swear to us.
I, Dave Worsby, having been elected or appointed to the office of supervisor, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God. There you go.
Well,
Congratulations.
There you go.
Official. Well, welcome aboard, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any more public comment? Jim?
Jim Heiser, since you brought up solar, wind, also, is there, anybody know anything about the windmills?
Not good for.
Haven't heard,
Not good for breeds.
One black prop.
have not
That's all
heard
it takes.
anything, to my knowledge, about anyone even checking into windmills.
Okay.
And I don't know of any windmill installations that are even around here.
Not in our county, I've heard of some
By
in
Amory,
central
the
Wisconsin.
big one in Amory, right? By the cheese
Oh,
plant.
Amory, I
Turtle
know
Lake.
it's
Turtle Lake.
Turtle Lake,
Turtle Lake, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Turtle Lake, yeah.
in town.
Does the county have anything on that, Tom?
No, I don't believe so.
I mean, usually they combine solar and wind,
generally.
but.
I'll double check on that. I don't think they mentioned, I think their thing was about the solar, or, the data center, so I don't know if they have anything on.
Because the state statutes on, you can't do anything about it, includes both solar and wind.
Yeah.
You can't stop them
Right,
from doing it, but you can set up guidelines.
yeah.
Right, yeah. And so our site plan ordinance was set up that gave us the ability to have some say in the guidelines of whether it was a large residential development or a commercial development of greater than 4 acres. So it gave us some say as to how it would fit in our town or with our content, basically.
But I remember, like, previous to revision number 4, there was specific language in there.
Yeah, and that was before the attorney saw it.
Oh, and that's when he said that, because, brought up the zoning thing?
Right.
Okay.
And Annie, I got something. Several meetings ago, someone brought up the topic of beach area on Amacoy. Pam Lamb, she's not able to be here today, but she started asking questions, finding out about what it would take to get a beach on Amaquay. And the county is willing to give up a portion of the land by the boat landing there for it, and they would maintain the lawn in front of the beach area. And then she did get an estimate for excavating and sand for the beach, and it would be no more than $2,000. There would also be the cost of like buoys to mark off the swimming area in the lake itself. And she got one estimate on that, and that was $538 a buoy. But I would certainly think that some research could find cheaper buoys than that. But just wondering if this is something the town wants to help support. Because obviously it's not free.
Right.
I would think the town would support it, as far as my opinion, because we spent, a few $1,000s on putting the bathrooms down there. We paid, I can't remember, maybe $5,000 towards that self-contained unit.
Sure, yep.
Bathrooms down there. And I always thought that should be an area for swimming rather than by the boat ramp where the people go and put their boats in.
Right.
And so it makes sense to me. That's a pretty low cost for giving people in the area a chance to go swimming and enjoy it in this kind of weather. I could see why you'd want to. So I would certainly support something like that. I don't know, we probably have to put it, we have it down as an item to discuss it. I don't know if that's something we would vote on tonight, or not, I don't know.
Well, we'll discuss it then
At
when
that
it
point,
comes,
okay.
at that point.
So you're looking at $2,000, how big of an area would it be?
Well, I think it's looking at no more than 50 feet of beach.
It's 35 by, what is it, deep? 20 feet deep and 35 wide. We started out with 50, they brought it down to
Okay.
35 for that area. But they're also going to excavate the other side, inclusive with that.
Okay.
Not for a beach, but they're gonna level it out on the other side of the dock and move that as well.
Oh, okay.
And then there would be some trees that are removed that are right in what would be the beach area.
So are we talking at the area that when we go into the boat landing, to the right of the boat landing?
To the left.
To the left of it, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there's, a lot of weeds there and that, so we have to kind of clear that out if I remember right.
There's some weeds in the water there, yeah.
Okay. And that'd be out of.
But it is actually sandy right there, right off that.
I can't recall. I know on the other side it's sandy,
Yeah.
but on the other side, I don't know.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we have to monitor that? Do we have to have someone there to?
No, there
No.
will be signage.
Yep. Swim at your own risk.
Swim at your own risk, okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
the guy at the county said, he said he said it isn't there anymore, but they had one at Deer Tail, and it's swim at your own risk
Okay.
there. Which, there's quite a few around Bass Lake, and
That's like saying,
swim at your own risk.
I have one other concern too. So this is gonna be on the left side of the
Boat landing.
boat landing. So I remember a few years back, well, quite a few years back actually, I stopped there and went swimming. And the water stank, and there was dead rotten fish floating around.
Oh, wow.
But right by, I walked in by the boat landing. Now it's gonna be right next to it. So I'm just wondering if that would pose some kind of an issue or whatever.
Well, I think, of course, you gotta put your trust in people that if it's an area that's designated, cleaned up, and it's a swimming area, that I wouldn't think people would go throw their fish and behind it, they've got, we did have recycling units down there, but then we realized that people started to bring all their garbage there.
Yeah.
And it became an issue, And it was completely full, you know, like in a half of a week, and so we just pulled them out, and did that. And the county's in charge of taking care of, and it was kinda interesting, cause we caught hell for it, because we sent them a letter. They didn't clean the bathrooms, that we had put in. And that unit was, I thought it was like 15,000, 20,000, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they weren't cleaning it, and I'm thinking, well, it's a county area, they should be cleaning it. Take a power wash and actually at one point what happened is that, Dean Taylor went down there and power washed it, cleaned it all out. And then he made sure that toilet paper was in there, and if the county, you know, they have people going out and cutting grass and doing everything, they should do it on a regular basis. And we told them that they should do it on a regular basis, and they didn't like it that we told them that they should do it on a regular basis. But we didn't really care, that they didn't like it, so, but that, you know, they should be able to maintain the lawn, clean it up, you know, even though people should pick up after themselves, but.
There may be some different people in there now
Yes.
that might be more receptive to doing that.
Yes, and I went to one of the meetings with Pam and I mean, the guys at the county was the park department, the forest department, and zoning. And, everybody was for it, they were, you know,
Yeah.
and they're glad to help with it and whatever,
Good.
so,
So the county would do the work then?
no.
They would maintain like the grassy area. And I suppose that also means any trees that might start growing up in the area, they would take down.
So who would do the work of actually removing?
The
trees?
excavation and putting the sand,
Scott Wittes,
Pardon?
Scott Wittes.
Oh, okay. so
That's
they
what
got
they got a
contract.
bid from.
Oh, okay.
he had a bid of no more than 2,000. He said if it was less than that, then it'd be even less.
I just wasn't clear on who was gonna do the actual work. so.
Okay.
He's pretty good, pretty reasonable, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, so.
Yep, and he's right across the road, he keeps his equipment, so, yeah,
Cool.
where his son is. So, yeah, he would do the work and bring the sand and haul whatever they had to do, haul away. So, I would be in favor, I think, I've been saying that for quite a few years, it'd be nice to have a public beach
You're gonna
somewhere
find a better
on,
operator than Scott.
on the
Yeah.
lake.
He's awesome.
So, but is there any more on that, what does everybody else think?
I think, well, okay, so the issue is they would have already started, but they're waiting for the Alcoa meeting to get an okay on
Yes,
what coverage they're gonna cover on the expenses.
Yep.
Because they have to put it to a vote to put that money there, although they received money from the township, so
right,
it should be allocated to quite a bit of the degree there.
right, but we give them 2,500 a year to keep the weed, I mean, that was kind of earmarked for keeping the weeds out of the way.
Yeah, and as far as like weeds, like this year, we spent $4,000 on weed removal. So,
And that's something, we don't have to, I mean, we can go ahead and do because it's in our town.
Mhm.
Something in our town, we can go ahead and spend money on it, so. Does anybody else have anything? Okay. Public comment on the Hive liquor license renewal, Carolyn?
Yeah, so the Hive had some setbacks as far as renovations and getting up and running, but she's hanging in there and she wants to renew her license, so she applied to do that and paid for last year's, that kind of thing. So, we ran a notice in the paper to see if anyone had anything to say about it, so I'm bringing it up here at the meeting, and then if there's no particular
If there's
objection,
any
I don't know what
objections.
I would do if you object, because.
So she's planning to go forward?
She's still planning on moving forward.
Okay.
She's having, issues with her contractor, who was actually getting violent and personal and really weird. Anyway, this is what she was telling me. So she is proceeding apace, she's just trying to figure out how to fix some of the issues she was coming up with.
Gotcha.
Where is this?
Where the
Hampton's
strip,
Tavern.
where the strip joint used to be.
Okay? We hear no objections.
So do we need to make a motion?
No, we don't. 15.
This is on
Excuse me.
the last one.
Yeah.
Mm, 13.
Yep, and it says town needs 5 to 6 feet of right of way for road maintenance.
Yeah.
You don't have, everything in there, so I guess I would eliminate that, because you really need more than that for road maintenance.
Right, 5 or 6 feet doesn't sound like a lot.
No. But, and I'm sure there, it isn't in context, I'm sure there was maybe it came up in discussion, but,
That was, somebody said that, but.
and then
I
on
think
15, it
that's-
says the traffic counts
It's just-
are a requirement for road grants, they are not a requirement.
I think that's
for road
just
grants.
their
It's
last
something that can
bill.
help, but they're not a
Oh,
requirement.
I don't know.
All right.
So this would have been for May.
Yep,
Did he resign in May?
Have they been placed?
no, that's on the,
I have to
later on
ask.
the
Later
agenda.
on.
So, I had that, Jim, you,
Is this road called Old Highway 8? or
it's
is
just
it-
Highway 8 Road, isn't it?
Yes, Highway.
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 So,
Yeah, Highway.
Yeah.
April 16th or
Whoever came
17th.
up with
When did
that.
we
was
Yeah.
July.
Yeah, that wasn't done.
May
recently,
resigned
but They did it.
as soon as we had that.
Um,
So maybe. Personally, I have an opinion on it, but I'll probably hold back.
Is there anything else anybody had? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve, as corrected with the, 5, 6 feet of right of way and the traffic requirements not being, it's not a requirement to have the counter.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Can I second? I wasn't on the board then.
Yeah, you still can.
I'll second.
Okay. A motion has been made and seconded then to approve the June 8th minutes, deleting the town needs 5 or 6 feet of right of way for road maintenance, and also changing that the traffic counters are not a requirement, that they are a suggestion for road grants. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I mean, I was on the high side. Motion carried. Okay. Okay, we have the treasurer's report now. Natalie,
All right, so I'm starting at the upper left-hand corner. Our balances in the bank accounts, as of June 1st were $218,408.12. Moving down a little bit, the only activity in the regular savings account this month was $7.56 interest. And what I wanna point out, what's good about that is deposits that we used to have going there are now going directly to our checking, so it's eliminating the transfer step. So I think by the end of the month, we can probably close the savings.
great.
Tax savings, there was no activity in there. Certificate of deposit earned $110.15 interest. And going across to the right for the checking deposits, you're gonna see there's a number of deposits there. So collectively, we had $70 in, dump passes, so, replacement passes for Autumn and Mitchell Luther, Deborah and Bruce Bagara, and somebody named Kappas, I believe. And Kappas, okay. And then Eileen Whitberger got a summer temporary pass for the landfill. We received $138.60 from the state of Wisconsin for the managed farmland. And we received a $20 refund for overpayment on one of the replacement titles that we had to buy. And I'm gonna probably not say this name correctly, Zwiefelhofer,
Zwiefelhofer.
okay.
Very good.
$25 for a building permit. And we received $2765.79 from the state of Wisconsin for fire dues. And then lastly, June interest on our checking account was $314.98. So that's the income for the month. Moving down to the center part, The salaries, payroll expense for the month of June was $4,476.31. Non-payroll expenses totaled $11,282.59. So you can see some of those, expenses are, well, all the expenses are detailed out. We paid Baki Norman $1,250.50. That was for open records request. I imagine that's residual from, previous board. Paid $117.74 for the filter and lube on the Spinion. I don't know what that is, but maintenance of some sort. And let's see, another big one here, $3,832 for Weld Riley.
Is that money paid for the landfill negotiations, or is that money paid for the previous board issues?
It was both.
Both. Do they?
Open records request and
Okay.
it's both.
Do they break it out on the invoice as to what
I
amount
believe,
is
yeah.
Because with the land negotiations, we get reimbursed for that, right?
part of the deal with
I
waste
think so,
management, is
or
it
half of
reimburses
it.
for our fees, right?
Yes, up to 20,000,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yes.
Are we supposed to bill them
No.
as we receive them, or
Oh,
once it's
No,
all?
no. Yeah, I would say we wouldn't bill until we're done, because we don't know how many more meetings there would be.
And I do have a running spreadsheet. As of last month, we paid them over 10,000. I'm sorry, Weld Riley over 14,000. So anyway, and most of the notes are various legal counsel, so we'll have to take out of there and figure out what was landfill negotiations and what was other stuff.
Well, they should be able to break it out too.
I think they'll have it,
Because we didn't spend $14,000 on negotiating the landfill.
I would
I
say
wouldn't
that.
think so.
All right, and then just a couple, I'll touch on, we paid $815 and change to IRS for quarter two, social security. And Fleet Pride, we paid $442.09 for cylinder repairs and, parts. And the last big expense I see on here is $676.54 to River County Co-op for LP gas for the shop. So all in all, like I said, our non-payroll expenses were just over 11,000, so it brings our between non-payroll and payroll expenses. We had $15,758.90 in expenses for the month of June, which leaves us collectively in our checking, savings, and CD $206,101.30. Any questions?
And we still have payments coming, two more payments coming from, or two payments or three coming from highway aids yet? Three.
We
Yeah.
did,
Did we get one in January?
yeah, in fact, I just sent you an email.
Okay.
Yeah, so we received January, April, and July, but I'm only reporting on June, but we did get, I think it was July 6th, we got our general
So we will get one more?
Yeah,
One more?
that's what I was wondering.
We got a July one,
Was that on the?
so we'll get one
in
more.
October.
So we get one more.
One more this year.
It should be somewhere around, cause last year it was 33,000 and change, this year they're 36,000.
Okay, and then we'll be getting two payments from waste management yet,
Yes, they're the same time, same months.
same.
Yeah, they typically come, like, last year it was July 17th, so I'd imagine later this month.
And our last payment that we received for them was approximately,
April 21st of this year for $60,546.21.
okay.
How is negotiating going? Has any,
Asking you.
Yep, he's on the committee.
We're kind of at a standstill, because I'm not sure, the committee was made up of myself, Dave Kokendorfer, John Bonchik and Brad Bartels. I'm not sure if Dave or Brad have resigned officially, I don't know if you received a
Yeah,
letter.
Dave did, I have
Dave
Dave
did.
did, Brad is not going to. Brad is gonna
He's
stay on.
gonna stay on it, so then, and most of the communications, because Dave was still the chair, which we didn't have a problem with, that he's the one who communicated with the attorney firm, the law firm, and we haven't heard anything. I haven't, I sent a query about a month and a half ago or 2 months and asked what's our status? And I think then Brad sent a text to me saying that he wasn't sure about the status either. So he made a question, he texted the attorney. And then, I briefly talked to Annie and I think you talked to Tina. I think they wanna meet and go forward, but on our end, we haven't had the communications. So I don't know where we are, people asking.
The last thing from Will Riley, Preston, talks about replacing people on the committee. But it
Yeah.
doesn't talk about let's have a meeting.
Yeah, I mean, he actually just, I believe it was this morning, sent out a letter, and he,
I texted
Oh,
you,
you
I texted him that you were appointed and that,
he did send something, and
And
they're
that was-
looking for a day to meet, the landfill wants to meet
yeah,
in July sometime.
and that was a month ago that I actually texted him about, well, when are we gonna move forward? 'Cause we
Yeah.
haven't done anything. And I got the impression they were not, Waste Management was ready to move forward, but we weren't. But now I think we're ready to move forward.
I think so, and tonight we'll decide on the committee, and
Mhm.
then, we can decide, if we're gonna have another person in,
Mhm.
who will be, and then set a date to meet with the landfill. So it should happen in July sometime. They sent another, I guess it's a counter offer,
Mhm.
and
And the negotiations were good. I think the town, the tipping fee was gonna increase at a pretty good percentage. And other details and that, but, I don't know how specific you wanna know what those details are. I think there might be a limit on how much tonnage you could bring to the landfill in the course of a year. Before it was completely unlimited, you could bring 16,000 tons if you wanted to, I suppose. And people have done that. I think it would be restricted, but to a restriction that I believe is highly reasonable. And increased tipping fee, and other than that, there's just minor things I would consider that we would gain. We give up something, they give up something. But our increase in tipping fee would be a significant increase in finances for the town.
We still get free dumping, right?
Pardon?
Residents of Stubbs still gets free?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And there might be a limit of between 100 and 400 pounds per month that you could take, somewhere in there. I don't know what their counter offer is. But, the amount of garbage that was in the yard of that house going up to the landfill. Probably exceeded 400 pounds and then some, so I don't know, I think there'll be some restrictions on that.
Good.
And, and protecting the road, they still have to take care of the road and pay the cost of that. The only question is at what point do we feel that the road should be repaired or fixed? And, it was recommended by the attorney that we should, have a board determine that. If the landfill might wait 3 years, we might want it done now. And that's something I think we need to kind of set in stone, so that if the road's bad and it needs to be fixed, cause I remember it was, the humps were there for quite a while.
it was,
About a year or two, and to be honest, the town would have taken care of that. Craig and those guys would have taken care of that a long time ago, and they let it go. And so, if we tell them to fix the road and they say no, well, then we got an issue. So we want it clearly stated as to how that process should move forward.
okay. Did you guys exchange your vouchers, clerk and treasurer exchanged vouchers, and did your bank balances? met? Okay. Okay, and, Trevor is not here tonight. He did give Carolyn some stuff, which will be posted on our website.
Yeah,
There's a survey that he
there's a
wants
survey
people
he
to-
wanted from people, and then he just has an update on what's happening for the summer.
We need to make a motion to approve the financial report.
No, we don't have that, it's just a statement. So you can go on the website and, do the surveys you want and then get what's going on at the library for the month. So, it would be all right, I'm thinking maybe we should skip down to the discussion with the Tom Atlanta chairman, so that he can, we can,
Run
then
down,
he,
Steve.
come on up.
Well, there he is.
Where's a chair for him? Maybe.
That's an extra dollar.
Yeah. Here, so you can sit up.
May I
and talk
approach?
with us. Come on up
So
here.
there's a chair right here.
Yeah, here, we'll put it over here so you're
Oh, that's
closer
all
to
right.
Jim, cause Jim can't hear.
I apologize, I've had a ear infection and a sinus thing going on since early May, April. I'm pretty much deaf in my right ear now.
Yeah, and the guys are gonna wanna hear you too, 'cause
Oh, thank you. Pineman Road. We started out, as Tom can tell you, we started out with a big culvert when we were going in for that ag road improvement thing. And if we were gonna improve the road, we were certainly gonna change that culvert. It doesn't need to be replaced.
what?
It
I thought
doesn't
the
need to be replaced.
I thought the bottom was rotten.
It's not falling apart.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be replaced this year, or probably next year, it may go 5 more years, it may go 10 more years. But if we're gonna rebuild the road, that's when you need to do it. Right now, it's about $250,000 project to rebuild the road.
No,
No, to replace
put
the
it in
culvert.
the culvert in.
Oh, okay.
And he was going on culvert earlier. Actually, it would behoove us if that culvert failed, cause that's a trunk stream. Then we can get emergency money from the DNR and from the state. Which is better than waiting on a grant, so if somebody wanted to go help that culvert fall
AI recording.
On the issue of county culverting, there's 2 other ones. Craig, do you remember how big those 2 are that toss up by Clarence Scott Counties? Are they 3-footers?
They're all of that.
Oh,
Mike and I remember, we made an inventory of all of them, it's here somewhere. There's a couple of them over, I believe, 4-footers.
oh,
See, and that, they do qualify for county culverting. The only thing with county culvert aid is county does the work. It's been our
Costs us
experience
more.
that
There's a
we get the
total
work done about half the cost of
18
county
culverts
culvert, so
on that
it
road.
comes out about the same.
There's 18 culverts on
There
Tyler
are
Road.
18 culverts on
Oh,
there.
yeah, it was a bunch.
it is, what is it, 4.5 miles long
Some
or
of them
something?
are plastic, they're fairly new, they probably,
And it's not,
wouldn't be,
there's a lot of big culverts.
So, were you saying that the county is more expensive to put them in?
Definitely.
Oh.
We would just have, we used to have Scott Goes would come in and he'd replace all the culverts, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But that was the issue, how they got started to replace. We were really counting on that ag road improvement grant, which would pay 90%.
Right.
And then do the whole length. And then we got our dreams crushed by Jewel Engineering. And I approached them to write the grant. And I've seen them too, I saw them again down at, Wisconsin Dells, at Town Road Seminar down there. I actually talked to the gentleman that I talked to on the phone. And he remembered me, and he says, yeah, you guys got a mess up there, he says, you'll never get a grant. The ag road improvement grant, there can be no restrictions on, weight restrictions on that, it has to be a year-round road. course, that starts at a county road, ends at a county road, which do have weight restrictions on it, so they just, you know, save the money, don't write the grant, because you're not gonna get it. So that puts us back to a general transportation aid, but can apply for the 620 culvert on that big one.
Yeah, what does that pay?
Well, they'll pay like 60% of it.
60%. And we would have to apply to that one, right?
Yeah. That's in your mile. And why the state did that, I don't know. But it goes mile Atlanta, mile Stubbs, mile Atlanta.
Oh, is that what they do?
Well, that's what I know.
That's what it's on the gas tax maps, and of course, that's what the DOT will look at.
Oh, okay. They pay like 60% of it.
Well, 60%, and then you put that in on a county culvert, they'll pay 50% of the 40%. So it trims our.
Oh,
You gotta figure it out on the
You
spreadsheet.
gotta work every angle, you know?
oh,
So
wait,
does the timing work though between the two programs?
Yeah, the county will do that anyway, and that was where I thought it was like $230-some thousand then. That was about 2 years ago we got that price.
For the one culvert,
Yep.
the one culvert.
That's what it's gonna be moved to the, and we did the whole circuit on it, it went through the DNR, she recommended we move that culvert a little bit to the west, which is gonna work out great.
And where, refresh my memory, where is that culvert located again?
Right at the, go down by Frank Leonard's, boom, right down the hill.
Right then, and where the beaver dam,
That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
that's about a 10-footer, I think, it's big.
so what was the reason to move it to the west? Is it high?
Pardon?
What was the reason to move it to the west? Why did she wanna move the culvert to the west?
Well, for one thing, it'll save a lot for installation.
Yeah.
Because they quite a hole, a big flat bottom culvert that goes in there. And then if you divert the flow of the water, then you can take the other one out.
Oh.
They don't have to put in coffer dams or anything in there.
Oh,
And where the stream dumps now and makes it bend, that will become good for. So it'd be good for the environment, the DNR likes that,
And mosquitoes.
and she likes it, I like it, cause we finally got a good one over in Park Falls, it's got some common sense.
Who's that? What's her name?
I can't remember her first name, but I've dealt with her twice.
Oh.
And she's been very common sense oriented, which was kind of,
Unusual.
put me on the ground, you know? Oh,
this is the
So-
DNR?
yeah,
So when are you thinking that, what's your,
I don't have a time frame on it, all I'm thinking about is, you guys apply for that 620. And if that does come through, and then if you don't get it the first year, push the paperwork right back in. Just, once it's done, it's done. Keep applying for that 620 grant.
And when, in that 620 grant, you get a few years to use it, don't you? 5 years, so then in the meantime, we could apply for the county culvert aid, which,
Yeah, well, I do at the same time. You can roll county culvert over, we have, on projects that you thought, well, we better get this done. And then you apply for county culvert aid on a 3-footer or a 4-foot culvert, and then you say, well, it's still pretty good, we're broke. You know, so let's push that off till next year, and the county's been pretty good about that.
I'm doing that?
So the 620 culvert aid, is that through the DOT or who's that through?
Yeah, that's through the state.
And are you aware of where they're applying? Is there a website that they?
I mean, we can find out, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know,
Yeah, just on the DOT
yeah,
website.
it'll be on the
Do you know what
website.
the timing is?
620 is all they have to do, that 620.
Friday, and then it comes up,
620.
okay.
It's for 6-foot to 20-foot culverts, and
Oh,
Is that something that
It'll be
we
next,
both apply?
no, we'd have to
We
apply.
apply
cause it's within our mile.
Yeah.
in our mile.
So
Okay.
we apply, and I believe, I don't know when they open up that one, it closes like April 1st or
well,
something,
they had so many applicants last year that they closed it early,
oh, they did,
and they had thousands literally of applicants for that, and they jettisoned it. So, in other words, you couldn't reapply. You're gonna have to start a new application,
oh,
because there was a lot of confusion that went on with that. I talked to the nice lady that ran that grant program, I don't know if she's still there. But she said that was a big part of it. And part of that was the legislature funded about 20% of what was needed. So we're gonna have to work on some more funding. And that all went through the budget process, and I guess there is more funding will be available for the 620. Cause it's not just culverts, it involves bridges, small bridges.
The 620 is anything between, a gap in the road between 6 feet and 20 feet. So anything less than 6 feet doesn't qualify. Anything over 20 feet doesn't qualify.
That's right, that goes into the federal bridge program.
Okay, yeah. So that's why it's called 620.
We've got a bridge in it right now. We didn't get granted that, although we were intending to start to rebuild that section of Mile Road. And now it's sit back and wait, and
That you guys got.
we're probably gonna be a year or a year and a half out before we could afford to blacktop that piece anyway.
So we're looking at $250,000, roughly, you said?
Roughly $250,000
And if-
for that one bridge project.
And if we were to get the grant for that,
Well,
that would cover 60% of that.
And then you have 40% that we're responsible for.
Mhm.
Put that into county culvert aid, which pays 50%,
Mhm.
that's 20%. That we would be,
And we would be sharing it with the
and that would
land.
be a shared cost, so that brings it down, so, yeah, you can do that out of general fund,
Mhm.
Right.
You don't have to go in debt to cover that.
So the key is to make sure we get the grant. If it opens for a window on April 1st, we should apply on April 1st.
Yeah, so was the day so far, yeah, you can apply anytime up to,
Yeah, I don't know when they opened. I think April 1st was the deadline last
Deadline.
year.
Oh, so if they open it February 10th, we file February
Yeah, we
10th
should, yep.
right away.
Should, I mean, they have the paperwork out there now, cause last year it was a new program. It's out there, so we should be able to get it.
but you have to have something that stands out. If you talk to the people that apply or that deal with it, to do this grant thing, they may look at 3,000 grant applications in a day. And they're just going through them, if it doesn't stand out,
Mhm.
What stands out to them?
desperate need,
Safety,
Safety,
number of people, which we don't have.
No.
That was the one advantage that town I talked about, was we could pool population, cause it's shared road,
right.
oh, yeah,
we're over 500, I don't know what Stubbs is,
we are too, just over, but.
so,
Do they look at traffic counts?
they look at population and what it will serve more than they look at traffic count. The traffic count, you need that anyway,
You would?
you'll need a traffic count on that, you have to have a traffic
I
estimate.
would think so.
Okay. Yeah, we were gonna talk about that, saying we were gonna
So
get,
we should have a counter out there. What time of the year do we get the most traffic on that road?
Deer hunting.
Labor
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah, we want the counter out there then.
It depends on what you want that for.
right,
I've got a county culvert right now, and that's my general weekly traffic numbers is what I want, not a holiday number.
right.
And
And the counter tell you that, he
But
said,
if I were
don't
gonna
take it
apply-
over
if
the
I were
4th
gonna
of
apply for a
July.
grant, I'd want the holiday numbers,
Yeah.
you know.
And then leave it out like a week or so, and then average it to the day.
7 days, divide by 2. You gain on the semis, but you lose on the motorcycles, so.
Okay, so, I mean, we should be applying for the 620 program then.
If that's an agreement with you people, that's the only way I can see to do that. I looked at your budget, you're not, don't have any more money than we do.
Yeah, that makes sense, and we're done with it. So apply for the grant and see what happens.
Is there anything else on, timing in the meantime? Like them culverts, them 4-foot ones
No, that's just something we'll have to look at in the
in
future.
the future, okay.
I didn't look at those, I marked those, Craig, did you look at those culverts?
Yeah, we measured the length of them, diameter, like I said,
We gotta find
I
Carolyn, do you know
made
where
a
it
sheet
is?
up on it.
Do we have
I gave it to
a
Dave
map
Coker,
that shows all those
so
culverts,
where-
where they are?
They probably all went in at the same time, and they're steel culverts.
We did that bridge.
Craig, do we have a,
Plastic one, yeah.
do we have a map that identifies the
I mean,
location
Craig,
of every
they
culvert
did,
and the
Yeah.
and they
size?
gave it to
I
me.
did that,
And
because Steve located most of them, and he said, I might have
Giving
missed a
you a
couple,
copy
but
or something.
he
I
says,
don't
if
know
you
that.
guys wanna make up an inventory on it, go ahead and do it. So that's what he
And
did.
do we have a regular map that shows placement of
No,
each one?
it's just written on a piece of
Written.
paper, but
With the mileage.
the mileage,
The
for
mileage.
such and such an intersection.
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
all that.
that would be good, that's,
Yeah, if you got.
It's here somewhere.
It's here somewhere, but we gotta find it.
Right,
Well, if I have it, it's in the
Unless he threw it away. I
road
don't know.
section
Hard to
Okay.
say.
of my door.
Don't worry, we have got GPS coordinates somewhere that we need from a survey, and
yeah,
it's here somewhere.
okay.
yeah,
Well, we should make sure we have that.
It doesn't get thrown away, it's here
right, it's here
somewhere.
somewhere.
Mike and I spent most of the day doing it. I know.
Yeah, so that's the,
Oh, they did, it's time consuming.
But if that's an agreement with you people, that's really the only way I can see of getting this done, that we can afford it.
oh, right, exactly.
We
So
got way more projects than we got money.
we will apply for the 620 program. And then we also have to do the culvert 8 then too, right?
Then look at why you're, as long as you're, now that you're the big shot. I know you by first name down in Madison.
Yeah, they probably.
Look at general transportation aid. There's a general transportation grant,
Okay,
and that pays, I think, up to 40%.
on what
Big
particular,
Ben just got a dandy out of there.
general transportation
I believe
grant
that was a multiple year application, but they got like $125,000, $130,000.
for a road, a bridge, or a road? Huh, okay,
And that, I do know that there will increase the funding on that grant for that.
okay.
Things have been a mishmash in Madison.
It's just been a mess
It's
down
just
there.
been a big
Yeah.
fight. Cause we need this, can't have this.
And they're sitting on a big surplus.
Yeah, I could fire them all, start over.
I vote for that.
Yeah. Okay, so I can look at that as a state. Okay,
Other than that, I saw it was under town road, or time and road maintenance. Maintenance agreement works okay still, we don't need to change that?
No.
I don't even know what you guys are doing, that's between you guys.
Well, the work on the
No,
road,
the plowing and taking care of it and whatever is all, it's worked for how many years?
we just split it at New Hampshire, or New Hutchinson Road. and that's
North
half and
Hutchinson
half.
Road, Atlanta is plows, east from there.
Yeah.
And we plow west from there.
Yeah.
When it comes to the snow plowing.
So works fine.
Well, we set that up years ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
There's no reason to pick a plow up and go a mile and drop the top.
No,
Yeah.
We grid the gravel portion of it over on the west end.
on the west end anyway.
Yeah. Okay, any other issues that, cause we do share the costs on there, any, I don't know, rut paving or crack sealing or anything?
No,
Oh,
we
the
never really-
gravel part,
We've never really done crack sealing on that. There's
Probably not
cost
worth
sharing
it.
on that. I can't imagine there's a section of Timon Road that's
worth doing,
worth road paving
I-
anymore.
yeah, it's so bad,
We
so,
did share cost. Good Lord, I've been there 20 years. Probably 17, 18 years ago, we paved part of that road and we shared the cost on that.
oh, okay,
When the town of Stubbs still did it.
Pardon?
When the town of Stubbs still, we did our own,
no, he's talking rut paving,
Oh, okay.
not,
not
crack sealing,
crack sealing, okay.
yeah, where they fill the,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
well, I don't
the
remember
ruts.
that.
Yeah, but I don't remember, it's gone now.
well, if, yeah, it's just in bad shape. But if there's, if you ever wanna, if there's something you think we need to address on that, we'll just have to do it.
No, that's, everything's,
The gravel part though, didn't we wanna do something with the gravel part of that road?
It needs some gravel from the end of the blacktop, at least up to the top of the hill.
How much is some?
We should put 3 or 4 inches of gravel on it. It's getting so there's not much there to grade anymore. It's all rock. Frank has got the thing shaped up pretty well as far as drainage into the ditches, but you still lose some gravel
Yeah,
coming down that hill and it goes both ways.
So from F to the hill, is that what you're saying?
Is that a third of a mile?
Yeah, probably, I don't know,
I don't think it's a half mile, is it?
no,
no,
no, it's probably about a third.
That would be a nasty piece of road with new asphalt.
Oh, yeah,
The salt would have to be on there that thick in the winter.
and then the end of it, the very west end isn't even Atlanta and Stubbs Road, it's Strickland and Town of
Right.
Wilkinson.
And Wilkinson's all in there, you have to follow it in there.
It's not us at all on the end,
And that's-
it's just them, it's a three-way, right?
Yeah.
Strickland,
Yeah.
Wilkinson, oh wait,
No,
Just two.
no,
just two,
it's just two.
yeah, just them two,
the Four Townships corner
right there,
up there.
I could show you where that survey marker is.
really?
Yeah.
On that corner?
Yeah.
In the woods? Okay.
The DOT doesn't like to be full, so I won't say anything.
I wonder about that whole road thing there.
That was always my club to hold over your head.
Oh, see, now it's coming
okay.
out.
We're pretty hard hit over
Okay. So you argue with me, you're gonna get it, so yeah.
here. Is that agreeable to you to do the, that gravel on that section?
To put the gravel on.
Put the
road.
gravel on that section from F to the hill?
Why, do you need it, Craig?
What's that?
Do you need the gravel on that section? Does that section need gravel?
It could use some, yeah. Maybe you don't have to put 6 or 8 inches on it, but it can use some gravel.
We got 4,000 yards in the pit in Murray. And the plan was, we can scratch together the money to put 1,000 yards on another grind, another mile of asphalt grind this fall. That would be the time to do that. So we'll get a better deal on trucking than there, and we got a pretty good deal on that gravel. Cheaper than you could buy truck and spread.
So,
Let me work on that for a while.
okay,
Okay.
why don't we see, and then I'll look up somewhere we have it, what we bought gravel
Right.
for two, what that price was. Two, so, okay,
Okay?
Yep.
Sounds good.
that sounds good.
Thank you.
Dismissed. The other way to do it, just throw you out.
Yep. See ya. Thanks for coming, Steve.
Thank you.
You can have a cookie.
Yeah, grab a cookie on your way out.
See, and the cops never showed up.
Okay, we'll go back to the announcements from the town officers. Carolyn, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, there's a meeting, where'd it go? The Russ County Unit Meeting of the Wisconsin Towns Association is meeting on Thursday, this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Jump River Electric Building. It's just the regular meeting as far as I can tell. And then I got this notice, some attorney is letting us know that they are the guardian of Rose Stendorf, who has this piece of property at Highway 8 and Persons Lane, and it's being rescinded or whatever. She didn't pay the $6 of tax or something, and so it's being taken away. I don't know, anyway, yeah. This election on the 11th of August is a primary election, and if I'm telling you stuff you know, I apologize, but I never knew this about primary elections. Primary election is where you go and select the person you want to run for your party. So it doesn't have anything to do with, well, this person's the best and I want them and they're in a different party, but I'm gonna vote for them anyway. You can't do that. You're just picking the guy that's gonna run for your party, and you only vote your party, because if you vote a different party, your vote won't count. Unless you select your party, but you can't just select your party, you do have to select the people in the contest of the party. So we've had that, people will just select the party and say, okay, I'm voting, Democrat or whatever, and then leave all the contests unvoted, so there's no votes there. Anyway, it gets complicated, but just remember that you're just voting for one party and you're picking the one guy you want to run for those contests. It's on the 11th, and the sample ballots will be out soon, and, so you can go online and find out about the people that are running.
It's kind of like you're picking the person whose name will be on the ballot.
Yes, who will be in the general election, so that you pick, there'll be one person for this party and one person for this party, and that's what's being decided in this upcoming election.
Anything else?
I think that's everything.
You guys have anything that you want to announce?
The only thing it would be is that item on the tubes and.
Oh, we'll cover that in,
When we get down there?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, if that's all the announcements then. Status of the following, the sale of the fuel tank with pump and containment tank. I talked to Greg Grouse, he offered, he would pay $350 for it. So,
So,
can I hear a motion, is that
go
okay?
ahead, Jim. I'll make a motion to sell the tank and pump and contain the tank.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion has been made and second to sell the fuel tank with the pump and containment tank to Greg Grouse for $350. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, then the cemetery maintenance grant, Carolyn.
I have not done anything on it.
Okay, that's okay.
Let the courts grow.
I don't know that that's gonna sell, so we'll be working maybe next month then, okay? Then clearing the tubes and embankment, so now Jim, that's your.
Well, I talked to Larry out of Morgan and Parmley, and he basically stated that all the grass needs to be mowed and the chevron design of what we own down by the tubes, and trees need to be cut and cleared. And so he agreed to come to a meeting where you would have a special meeting in September, because it doesn't drive at night, that we'd have at 5 o'clock. And, I'm not sure if the board wants to collectively, all of us, which I think is good, go down there and look at the area so that we understand where the property lines are and what's there. And then he would come to the meeting and explain to us everything concerning the tubes, which is kind of detailed, as if we had to replace them down the road. And we're looking at minimally $500,000, if not more.
Is he aware of that one tube raised up?
Yeah, that tube, I went through a box of information on the tubes, and in 2000, the north tube was 7 inches higher than the other. And I don't know if that tube is still 7 inches, or if it moved at all, or anything at all, I don't.
I mean, when it was installed, it was originally 7 inches?
Well, no, I think, I was looking at all the data from the engineers, and I think they installed them level, but I'm not an engineer, and I'm looking at all their figures, and I'm going, okay, what the heck is this? And so, I don't believe that, but, I'd have to, before I said they were installed at different heights, I'd have to have someone look at it. There'd have to be an engineer that could assess that. Larry could do that,
I have one more question.
and check to see, but he, we have a lot of issues concerning that. And we're talking, if the minimum is 500,000, it depends on the DNR, and, I think, well, Bob knows and a few others that there was an issue whether it was a dam or not, and the DNR does not like to lose they lost that case, and, there's a whole new group of people in the DNR, and they have a whole different philosophy of how it would be replaced, so, you know, I think in the future we need to plan for it, but I don't know what we would plan for, because the cost would be, I think it's gonna be pretty, ideally, we could put the tubes back the way they are and level them and do that, but we're looking at $500,000, and based on its designation, I don't know if we qualify for any aid, because it's a levee. It's not a dam, because we won the court case on that, so I
Right.
can't. So, you know, I don't know what they would do, and there isn't a way to inquire off the record what they think that they would like to do. Once we open the door, then we're now subject to that regulation of the DNR.
So we need to do some maintenance down there, is it DNR that's saying we need to do
No,
work?
no,
Or is it just-
I have the maintenance plan
Oh,
that Morgan and Partney did in 2016, and the maintenance emergency plan from 2018. And I got the box from Annie, and I've been reading and going through it, and I think that it would be something that, I don't know if you've read it all or not. It's a
Not
lot, it's a
lately.
lot to
It
read,
is a
but
lot.
maybe I can pass the box off and drop it off, and you need to go through it all. And it takes a while, but it needs to be, you need to look at it, and there's a protocol as to who does what, and who gets called first, second, third if there's a failure along the way. And then, so we should have been updating it yearly. You know, it should have been updated yearly. There should have been an engineering firm coming in every 5 years and evaluating it. And, when I left the board and the other board members were here, and then the tornado, I think it just got pushed off to the side. You know, a lot of people don't think about it unless you live down in that area. It's kinda like you don't think too much about north up on Timon a whole lot unless you travel Timon a lot. So, there's a lot to consider. It's a major cost. It's something that has to be, taken care of. It was a 3-county project through the Department of Agriculture. The county is now the sole control over the facility. However, we own the tubes, the town of Stubbs owns the tubes and responsible for all the repairs. But, zoning would regulate all that, so it's a complex picture, it really is, as to which direction we should go, what we should do, and a good chunk of money. We could bury our heads in the sand and do nothing, you know, and then let it go for 5, 10, 15 years, but, you know, I don't know if that's the way the board wants to go. I think it would be nice if we set aside money ahead of time in a fund, but that's something that we would put on an agenda and discuss that, so that we don't get a $500,000 or $1 million cost right off the bat. And it benefits the entire watershed, so I don't know if there's a grant from the Department of Ag, but once we open the door, then we could find out, but you know, you gotta be cautious when you open that door. You know,
Quick question. Is Larry coming over here to do this as an informational thing or a service to the county?
Pretty much informational.
Is he gonna charge? That's what I'm wondering.
Pardon?
Is he gonna charge for coming here?
You know, I didn't ask him, I know him quite well, he did all the research and did all the data and everything. I can ask him what it would cost, but I would say if there is a cost, it'd be, but the board, I would encourage the board to pay for that, because you're paying for professional opinion, to address that issue. And according to the emergency plan, the town has not followed it. You know, we talk about liability for turnarounds and liability for, other things, and I'm thinking, oh my God, the liability for this could be huge.
Just a note of caution, I've dealt with Morgan and Parmley when I was, when I worked for the Village of Warehouser, Kathy and myself, and they charge. They like to charge a lot. Just saying.
Well, when we hired them to do the original study, we didn't have a problem with the costs. You know, I never discussed, finances, but if it costs us, $300 or $400 or $500 or $600, I would say that money is well worth it, every penny of it, because there's not many people that truly understand. You know, I think Bob does, Larry does, I do, but there's not a lot of people that understand the nature of the tubes. You know, they know they're there, but haven't looked at the construction, the engineering, why it was built. In fact, there used to be a sign there.
It's still there.
Is it still?
Laying down and,
Sign on the ground.
we're
Yeah.
talking about having somebody put 6x6s there,
Yeah,
putting them back up.
it should be put back up. So, yeah, I think you know, I'm sure that there's a cost there, but I think that that's something that, we're paying for education. And it's not cheap,
But I agree, I think we need some, I mean, we can always get another opinion too, but Larry was the one that worked on it, so he probably knows it better than anybody,
and, yeah.
and we need to educate ourselves on it. You know it, Bob knows it, but I think all of us probably need to learn a little more about it. I don't know, Alcoa, do you guys, does the Lake Association, do people
Well,
talk about
you
it?
know, I don't know how much they addressed the tubes area.
No, we really haven't discussed it that way, but that'd be the biggest impact,
Right,
that's on those property owners.
Yeah, and so it really impacts not just it impacts lake owners, certainly the boat landing, certainly the watershed, which is a large watershed area when you think about where all the water comes from. So, and it helps people downstream, and I'm thinking the Department of Agriculture must have felt it was an important project to address it because they put money forward for it. So, so I think it's a smart move, you know, to put it on the agenda for maybe approval of that. I can give Larry a call and see if he would charge us for that, but, our workings with him were highly detailed, and he's pretty honest, and we paid a lot of money. We changed the floodplain maps on Amacoy Lake, because they were inaccurate, and, we were able to raise the floodplain to allow people to build in areas where the FEMA said that they couldn't build because, and now they can build. And the tubes serve a purpose, you know, I know they use certain benchmarks for the high water, 3 different points, so there's a lot to read and a lot to learn, but, I'm not gonna be on the board forever. I don't think Annie is, or Dave, but I think the board needs to look to the future and plan for how to address that issue. So,
And I agree with that.
I'll agree.
We do need to address it.
yeah, I don't know what structure we'd have to put in, but, we're gonna eventually have to do something.
I mean, it was put in the sixties sometime, right?
1966,
66,
most of it was done, it was completed in 67.
And
it's a long time.
and it was rated
60
on
years.
as a 6-7 on the scale of rating culverts, 9 being, you know, perfect.
Oh, okay.
So it's rated as I just got on. It was rated as a 6-7, and it was good then, but that's, you know, that's now 10 years ago. Yeah, but, so anyway,
Okay.
that's something I'd like to put on the agenda for August if we can,
Or September.
or September.
Is
Yeah,
it-
September, because he would have talked to us at 5 o'clock, if we can do that as a special meeting.
At 5 o'clock
Yeah,
before the September.
and that would be a
meeting.
public informational meeting, you know, anybody can come and listen to what he has to say.
Yeah.
So are we gonna do that at the tubes? Or here?
Well, we'll meet here with him at 5 o'clock before our regular meeting in September. Do we wanna just go look at the tubes, or do we need to go down
Well,
with him?
it's kinda like going out and looking at the roads when we couldn't all just hop in a car and go look at all the roads, because you gotta have it's considered a quorum.
Right, right.
So it would be, you know, if Dave and I, or Annie and I were to go down there, and I'm gonna point out where the chevrons are, that could be considered a quorum, and we could make a decision, which we can't, but you know, if we have to all go down there together, then I would suggest then we have to have another public meeting at some point before the September meeting to go down there and look at that.
And we should do that. I mean, all we have to do is post that we are going to do
We're gonna
that.
go down there and anybody can come and take a look at it and know. And there was some issues there because I remember someone claimed that whole area. I think you remember that, Bob. And put no trespassing signs and didn't want anybody to go down there and found out that he didn't own it, we owned it.
Yep.
The town of Stubbs owned it.
I remember that too.
And so there were markers there that showed the boundaries, and now I don't know if those markers have been moved or not. Dan has put up no trespassing signs because he owns certain areas there. And you'd be amazed at how large of an area we own, you know, how far it goes. And then we own the dip on the other side of Dan Solberg. And that's considered part of that levee that needs to be controlled.
They engineered enough land to rebuild it.
Oh.
If they had to rebuild that structure,
Yeah,
they earmarked enough land to give them the ability to rebuild it.
right, and because that's still considered, I asked him if that's still considered part of the levee, he said yes. So theoretically, all those trees that are on both sides of that road going up to Bruce Figueres should all be brushed, cleared, cut, and removed. And I looked at that, and that's a major project. But that's why I thought, well, rather than, I think the board needs to look at that and then make the board's decision as to what they should do. Personally, I think, well, just let it go, but that's an issue that I think the rest of us have to look at.
Okay, so do we wanna schedule the September, for 5 o'clock? Go ahead and schedule that. Carolyn, at our September 14th meeting, we'll meet at 5 here with Larry. And open to the public, obviously, and just to get.
We would meet down at the, could we,
We can do that earlier. I don't know when we'll do that, we'll have to.
yeah, we need to figure out when you wanna go and do that,
Right.
and just, do we have to put a notice in?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just a 24-hour notice is all you
Yeah.
need. We can put more of a notice, but I mean, 24 is what you need, so I don't know if we can do that tonight, or we can later in the future set a date to go. I mean, unless we wanna go next week, or, you know,
Yeah,
we could set a date now, we can.
that way people would know that we're gonna actually go there and take a look at it.
Larry's with the DNR, who's there?
No, it would be, we're just, the board is just going to meet, and, I can go down there and maybe, I don't know if Bob is available.
No, I mean the 15th meeting, before the
14th.
regular meeting.
14th, yeah, that's
14th,
Larry,
sorry.
yep,
Larry Goltham with Morgan and Parley.
Morgan Park.
Morgan Park. And then as a board, we're gonna go down and look at that, and I would maybe contact Dan, to let him know, so cause he knows the property lines too, where the stakes are and where everything is, and then I'll point out. I don't know if, where Brucey Figueres' home that he rents out there were markers in the woods on both sides that showed where the property is,
He's got 1 acre there
yeah. And-
versus mine.
Yeah, and so there's markers to show what we own on both sides of the road, and we could actually, you know, I have to see if I can. locate
Bruce is
it.
he's quarter mile from the tubes.
Right, but that's part of that
That
we
fill
own.
there was considered part of it.
Pardon me? What?
That fill, where the road was filled, that's considered part of it, part of that levy.
We own it, and so that's, I asked him, and he said that's part of the levy, and we have to take care of that. So, but that's something I want, you know,
yeah,
you to hear,
right.
you know.
Would next Monday work? We
Okay,
did
the
5 o'clock?
20th?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. 20th, at what time, Dave? What time?
Well, 5 would work for me.
Okay,
It
What
should
time?
be 5 o'clock, would
Yeah.
there be enough mosquitoes out there by then?
yeah.
There aren't any mosquitoes anymore.
Yeah, not this year.
So 5 o'clock on the 20th,
So the three of us will meet,
yeah.
and anybody else who
And then everybody.
wants to show up, you're more than welcome to.
But you're meeting at.
And then, you're going to go to the tubes?
We're
That-
gonna meet at the tube,
Okay,
What's,
Yep.
is there a road name or anything?
River Road. Oh, yeah.
End of River Road.
No, oh, how do you describe the tubes for, to let the people know where we're going to meet?
Pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
The tubes on River Road,
1 mile, be 1 mile south of 40.
Close to a mile off by every 40.
Approximately miles.
Is it the same thing you did?
Okay, we'll meet then
Okay.
together, and then on the 14th, we'll meet at 5 o'clock with Larry here, and he can fill us in there. So, okay, does that take care of that one then? Okay, then, Val and Carolyn, ACH might happen next month? Or can it happen now?
You know, I would just recommend we wait till we get that payment from Waste Management.
Oh, okay.
Cause I don't think we've gotten someone from
Oh,
them, so
okay.
I think we could probably have, if we wanna make a decision that after we receive that payment,
Yes.
it goes into the checking instead of the savings.
Yep.
It should be about mid-month, or next week, then
Okay.
we can close it, and I don't know what the process is, but to close it, so,
Oh,
Yeah.
good question. But we'll do it next month then. Put it on the agenda.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal, we
No,
just
no,
want to
no,
close
just
it.
leave it on the second.
Yeah, and
Okay,
next month
sure.
we'll deal with it then. We'll, should have the check and know that it's clear then by then. Okay. Alrighty, then, okay, anything, the road crew, Craig, Mike,
Well, we
Ryan?
got all the potholes patched for now.
Okay, I noticed that in front of my house. So you guys did
Oh, in front of your house.
in front of my house.
Oh.
I have potholes in front of my house. I need to watch them.
The county was, they didn't know when they could do it.
Okay,
I just went over to the county shop and I got a couple of yards of patching stuff. I made a pile out here. And Tom Lesko and I filled them.
thank you.
Usually there's always that
Any
hole,
more right now, but there'll be more.
that hole on Amaquai Lake Road and, on County F, when you go to turn right and go into, it's like a crater. You know, I thought it was like about 1 foot deep. But
Oh,
now it's taken care of, but
The county did put some stuff in there, but it's getting
it gets pounded pretty good.
pounded back out. We could throw some stuff, actually, that's county right away, but
Yeah.
I guess we could do it.
yeah. Right, when you turn right on F, is that?
Yeah,
what
when you
you're
turn right
That's
on it.
bad.
That's like going into Bruce Express Mart, you go in there, you're trying to figure out how do you get into it? Whose responsibility it is to fix the road there, but,
It's not anything to do with road work, but I assume somebody found that $6,000 check from,
Oh, yes,
Village
I
of
did,
Whitehall.
and Val has it.
Yep, and Caroline's gonna log it, so
'Cause
we'll
they
get
did.
deposited tomorrow.
come and get the truck and paid for it. I just put the check on the counter there.
Yep, I was here one day and I saw it, so I locked it up back there and Valerie got it, so our truck is sold, gone. So, oh, and, yeah, and I will let Greg know about, do we have anything else left to sell? I want this stuff done.
I don't think.
Okay, good. That took a long time to get that stuff done, so, okay. Anything else on
I
the road?
don't have anything else. No.
Mike, how's that tractor running?
Good.
Good.
Tractor runs good, yeah.
Okay.
how's the operator doing?
The
La,
deck
la,
on
la,
it,
we don't wanna hear it. Yeah.
the deck on it though, with cutting head,
Cutting deck.
you don't wanna stay up. You want to keep settling. So
The
you
hydraulics.
almost- Yeah, you almost have to hold the lever, otherwise it's dragging on the blacktop.
So what's
We've been-
happening?
We've been working on it.
Okay.
The two, so the secondary boom cylinder and the cylinder for the deck, we had those rebuilt completely. Put two new valves in the valve body is 5 separate valves. We put the two valves in new, that was about $2,600 worth of valves. And we just been trying one thing at a time. That didn't do it.
That didn't do it.
I talked to the mechanic down at Surway Implement, they are the Tiger dealer for here. He said, well, put new relief valves on the one side. We did that. That's about $1,000, and it didn't help, it didn't do anything. I don't know of anything else
Wow,
that we can do to it, there's nothing else to do to it,
yeah.
except, I'm gonna try one more thing. Turn up the spring tension on the relief valve, and see if that
Help.
helps.
And that's $1,000.
No, that's just a little Allen wrench in 10 minutes. But
Crank her up.
it's,
Oh, that
I don't
was
know, I'm about ready to,
Can't figure it out.
To sell one more thing, right? Oh, that's
we're gonna
good.
try.
Okay, now discussion on, Bob Lukowski's request to amend the resolution. So, I think that can be done, look back on the records, on the maps with the DOT, back to 2015, it's all ends at section 25, and it's 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, I don't think we have to do anything with that, because we did that for you way back when I was on the board in art, and we had a resolution, we ended it in 2015 right there at section 25.
I didn't see that anywhere. I saw that it was continued on to section 25.
Right, into,
Approximately a half a mile into section 25, which would put it right up to the house, past the house and into the lake. I'm serious, that's the way I read that
yeah.
description.
And that was in 2000, and if
Yes.
there was a resolution after that, like I said, records are non-existent here for a lot of them. We could, maybe.
Yeah, I was under the impression that your road ended at the top of the hill at section 25.
That's where it did, but the resolution from 2000 took it all the way up to 25 and proceeding a half mile south, approximately a half mile south, which I said I put out in the weed bed.
So can we have someone like, couldn't John Fitzel at the county look at that resolution, that legal description, and draw us a map?
Yeah.
Lay that legal description, draw out what that legal description says on, cause he has imagery, and just so we know, typically sometimes with those resolutions and legal descriptions, there will be a map that goes with it sometimes.
Well, there
There is.
was a map, was there?
And well, if you look at the current
But that wasn't very
state
good.
road map, it shows it ending at section 25.
It does show.
There is no road, there's never been a road going beyond that on any state road map that we have. That does not show any half mile going into the lake.
That resolution from 2000 stated that.
Right.
I can't imagine the board approving a resolution that would let the road continue into the
That's
lake.
what I wanted to do.
Well, you were on the board.
That means we were stupid.
That's why I'm saying have a surveyor or.
That's why I don't think that, I think as I read it that it ended at section 25, and it doesn't continue on.
Yeah, I mean, and actually it starts out by saying, being that the town has maintained Lurkowski Lane 66 feet wide in sections 24 and 25. I mean, it says that. But then when you keep reading it in that half mile into the lake is what it would be, I believe, but we can do that, Dave, we'll get
I
enough.
think we should.
Okay, we'll do that, and
It
then we'll
seems
get a
like John
word
should be
read.
able to overlay that legal description
Yeah.
on the aerial map so we can physically see
Yep.
what it describes.
I'll talk to John and I'll get one of those, and then,
Because we get state aid for,
How much mileage do you get there?
3/4 of a mile,
Okay, so that would end at section 25.
Yeah,
and that's what it shows on the state
and that's what
road
it's
map.
showing on our state road maps. Since 2015, I couldn't find any maps before that.
Now, the next question was, if you're getting state aid for 3/4 of a mile on a 4-rod road, what would the state aid change to on a 3-rod road?
State aid doesn't
Pardon?
change, state aid would not change.
All right, then I
Only,
will would ask that we consider making that a 3-rod road. Cause most of that road is either off a steep incline, or steep cliff down or swamp.
I guess, I don't know, I'm not too much in favor of going from 4 to 3, though we're probably never gonna do anything with it, but it would limit what you can do
And
if
both
Bob
sides,
Mikowski isn't there one day and somebody comes in with a big development or something. But,
I'll come back from wherever I wind up and.
what's that?
But if we do that, do we have to change anything with the DOT or not? Or we have to
We
go
would
through-
get the same mileage.
I know, but
Yeah.
do we have to?
Well, on the roadwork maps that you get annually, if you adjust any road to do any road work, that's filled out in.
Yeah, we would have to
We would have to
record that.
record that on that.
We just record that it's.
Yeah.
We just record that it's.
We don't have to follow that statute
No.
62.
No, we
whatever.
I just fill in the paperwork.
Right. 2 rods, you'd have to go through the state, and, you
Yeah,
know, it's a
yeah.
big thing,
Well,
but
I
3
would
rods.
think that Craig could vouch for me that the township has not spent a lot of money on any of that road for 40+ years.
Snow plowing, basically, and
That's
then
about
what?
it.
Yeah,
But having driven that, Bob, when I drove it the other day, cause the only time I think I was ever down Bob's road, it was either winter time or dark out, so. There is a couple spots where it's kinda low, Bob, isn't it?
Oh, I definitely.
Yeah, there's 2 feet of water on it when the river's up,
Yeah.
and you're driving through 2 feet of water.
is that in section 25 or?
Oh, that's section 24, that's.
Oh. Okay,
So we maybe should.
There's 3 feet in section 25, so if you want that, you really
So
gotta.
we're gonna
build
have
it.
John go ahead and check that for us.
yeah, I'll contact John and
All right,
I'll have him check that and help.
thank you, because I
Yeah.
just
See how
want
he
that
reads
resolved
that-
for the trust.
that Resolution.
Yeah,
And based on our highway aids and the mileage on the state highway maps, in my mind, it ends at 25.
yep, and I mean, I believe that's what, everybody thought it ended at 25, didn't you think it ended at
That's
25?
what I always thought.
I mean, everybody thought it ended at 25, but then
Until
this-
you saw the resolution, the way it was
Exactly.
written.
Right.
When
Okay.
Art Dixon was chairman, I remember him telling me that the town road
Ends right there.
ended at the section
Oh,
line.
see,
What
and that's
about-
where that resolution just wasn't written.
What about my request for 4 to 3?
I mean, you wanna discuss that now or after the next
Maybe,
thing?
let's see what John comes up with.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it into consideration.
Thank you.
And, I mean, can you tell me why you want it to 4 to 3?
Why do you want it 4, not 3?
Cause all our roads are 4, they did that for a reason, but, I'm not saying that, you know, but why do
It's
you
a
want
half
it
a
3?
acre, if you add it up 3/4 of a mile, 15 feet is 22,000 feet. Acres 44,000, so it's a half a acre. You're losing, I'm gaining.
Okay, you're getting half an acre, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll consider it, and
Okay,
see what everybody thinks. And then the next meeting, then I'll talk to John and get his opinion and get an overlay maybe there and.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, discussion regarding possible crack filling projects on multiple roads. I think we talked a little bit about it last time, I don't know if we wrote down.
Which roads would require it?
There's a lot of them that need it. But I'm not going to make any recommendations as to where to do it. Because I've made some recommendations on road work here this last year, and I've had people ask me, why do you wanna work on that road? There's nothing wrong with this road, there's nothing wrong with that road. And
Yeah.
I got enough things to do with maintaining equipment and keeping roads graded and plowed, that I just don't, I don't wanna be involved with that part of it, so that,
When's the last time we had that done?
Well, we had, Hutchinson Road done from the bridge to the highway, just a few years back, probably 3, 4 years back. I mean, I would recommend that all of Highway, or not, Hutchinson from the four corners here to Highway, if there's any cracks that we would fill them to preserve
There
what
are
we have.
cracks in there.
I
And then-
counted them from,
Oh, yeah,
what was it, 16?
yeah,
From the bridge up to here,
Up to here.
18 or something like that.
yep. And then also from the four corners, Emacoy Lake
To
Road
40,
to 40.
so 2 roads. Who, do we put it out for bids? Or,
I guess it depends on the cost, we don't have to. Last time we didn't, I think it was $1,700 to do that.
who did it?
Was it Farner?
No, it was hooked up with,
Scott.
Scott
Scott.
Construction.
I don't know if Scott did it or if they.
Yeah, he
funded
didn't
it.
do it, he has someone
Somebody
that
else
does
do
it.
He subcontracted it.
Yeah. And, so if it isn't over 5,000 on a project, we don't have to bid it. And I mean, but we could call and get a couple prices
Right.
that way.
Good idea.
So we're looking at 2 roads basically, or
Well,
more?
I mean, and it would depend how much it costs and how much money we had. I had almost, let's see, so. I do wanna ask your opinion, Craig, cause maybe, Emacoy Lake Road, what would it be? Poppy Lane to the town hall. Does that need to be done again? You guys did it once.
There are a few cracks in it.
And if they're in the area, probably wouldn't. Cost
I don't think it would involve a lot to patch what cracks there
there are.
are. Right after we overlaid that, the cracks telegraphed up through the new blacktop, and oh boy. But once we filled them, it stayed pretty good, actually.
I think it stayed really good, and you guys filled them right away
Yeah,
afterwards.
we did.
And that's what, I went to a little bit of training, that's what they said, you know, when you, like, we just did the, I get these names, not seal cracking,
We used to do
chip
that,
sealing, I can never think of that.
but it gets to be, I know Gary Anderson and I, Tom Lisko and I will work at Stanley Moore and a couple of ways, Joe Colombo did it for years. But we just plain decided, we don't wanna get killed. You just,
Probably a pretty good reason.
these outfits that do it, they got the road pretty well shut off, the cars could just get by, they got a million lights, they got,
Yeah.
and there we are out there with a couple little blinking lights, people don't slow down.
There you go.
So you're looking at Amicoy Lake to
You have to hire a
Chukowski Lane?
professional outfit.
Poppy.
Right, so actually you'd start at Poppy Lane over there and go all the way to Highway 40, I would say, and then just Hutchinson from here to the highway. And the other roads I have written down were, Hubbard, because I know we did a chip sealing on that not too long ago, so if there's cracks showing up there. And River Road we did. I mean, I just think if, you know, we maintain these and, cause.
Right.
And I don't know, I've been on South Shore, I don't know that there's much, I think South Shore is doing pretty good, isn't it? Is there many cracks? You guys walk that?
I haven't noticed anything.
Well, on South Shore, you wouldn't know because of the chip seal, but I noticed that all the trucks doing all the work that they're doing, picking up all the chip seal, you know, and it's just
From the fields?
from, from the heat, you know, the chip seal, and
Oh,
they're just
yeah.
turning on their.
When it's this warm.
Yeah.
Turn on it with a tandem truck.
Yeah,
It just,
What
there's,
trucks are back there?
well, there's people doing concrete work,
dump
building work,
trucks and
different things.
concrete
and
trucks, like I say, a
I
tandem
mean,
vehicle.
you can tell exactly where everybody's been, because you can see the marks all the way
Okay.
down the
They
road.
turn, it scrubs it up.
But I don't think South Shore needs,
I don't think
and it doesn't need
think it
anything.
need anything. And I honestly can't tell you if River Road does, but we did chip seal it and, if it does, you know, now would be the time to.
I would take a look and see, but I
Yeah.
travel it 90,000 times in the course of a day, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I never pay attention to it, I'm looking for deer.
Yeah. And this would be, you know, I mean, that, I'm sure that we could go all over the place and feel
I think
trapped.
that's a pretty good list.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
we've got
good-
Hutchinson, Amcoy Lake, and Hubbard, correct?
Hubbard and River Road.
And River Road to look at it.
And I mean, like, they've given us, prices on different things and, you know.
Do they give us a price base per mile?
Yeah, per road, like,
So we just need to give them the approximate mileage from the state maps as to what each road.
no, they'll come in and look at it and
Look at
drive it,
Okay,
yeah. And they'll give us an estimate of what that would be,
okay.
the cost to do it. And then, you know, if it's too much, we'll say, well, we're not doing River Road this year, or whatever
Okay.
we wanna say.
So do we have some possible contractors we could call, or?
I could find that one from Scott Construction, he's, that
Okay,
guy.
do you guys know contractors?
I don't know who to contact
Yeah.
from Scott.
And, I mean, I can call Scott
Okay.
and ask him, and he's Scott from Scott Construction,
Oh,
he
that's right,
doesn't
yeah.
own it. And then I had someone email me that, said they do it, so I can't remember, I think they're from Eau Claire or something.
Oh.
So we had a couple places that maybe then, Farners would do it,
Farmers would do it.
Farners would do it.
We got, prices from Farner I know before, and they're quite high.
I-
I know that.
I remember that from another project, yeah.
Okay, I could try to get some prices by next meeting, and then we can discuss it next meeting and
Sounds
see if
good.
we have the money and if we wanted to. Okay. The new road signs, are they in and up?
Caroline got those on order, they just,
Okay.
they aren't here
So
yet.
it's probably another 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while yet,
Yeah, okay,
but they're on their way.
okay. And I'll get them. Status of the right-of-way cultivation, I guess Carolyn, you sent that letter last week to Ken on, that was on, Halloween. Status of highway road repairs, so I got a call from Amanda Poppy on her Highway 8 road. We talked about it last month, so the truck coming out of the field there kinda demolished our road there. And so, I got an estimate from the county and I got one from Monarch. I called Farner, but they referred me to Monarch. And county said $600 to patch it,
Mm-hmm.
about, and Monarch said $2,500.
So who's gonna do what, who's gonna not do what?
And I told them both 6 feet by 27 feet, I went out and measured it, and I thought, you know, that's the area that was wrecked. And, you know, so I
How's
told
the
them the
county
same
gonna
thing.
fix it? I didn't think the county did any blacktopping.
They said it would take 3 guys, a skid steer, and their roller to roll to,
We
Yeah.
always get them when we replace culverts, and they do that, yeah,
Yep.
they'll do that.
Good job, pretty good job at doing it.
Do they do it?
They do a good job at when they did that.
Yeah, they do a good job.
No,
They
that was,
use-
I
that,
think
what,
so.
I'd say $600 is better than 2,500.
I would think so.
We'll put that towards the beach.
We
There
can
you
try and patch it with coal patch, but it might be out there for a while, and in the winter time, they plow snow, they probably cut it right out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and then, I mean, that's what they said about $600, so if we want them to have them do it, then we would, do we wanna send the farmer a bill?
Yeah,
Or a letter?
definitely, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we've done before.
Yeah.
Has the farmer been contacted?
No, we wanted to wait and see what
Oh.
it would cost or whatever, and.
We should put in there that he has 2 choices,
Oh, there you go.
the county, or we can have Monarch, one is 600, one is 2,500,
Yeah,
which
what
do
do
you
you want?
choose?
Yeah.
And I'd put it that way, you know, I mean, you're not being nasty, you're giving them a choice, and, you know,
Shows
he-
you've got estimates, right?
Yeah.
those are the 2 estimates that you have, and, okay.
Okay. So can I, have a motion then on that $600 for the county, and I'll let the county know right away.
Yep, I'll make a motion to move ahead with the $600 repair of Highway 8 road, and to notify the farmer.
And I will second that.
Okay, so a motion has been made and seconded to approve the county doing the fix on Highway 8 road
For $600.
for $600. And then, writing a letter to the or not the landowner, but the farmer, and asking him to pay for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Okay. Oh, the road counter, traffic counters. So do we wanna put them traffic counters up, get them from the county, put them up?
Mhm.
So, does Craig wanna do that?
Well, you tell me where you
Where we want them?
want them, and we can do that.
Okay.
What was our thought behind putting them up? Just to get an idea of traffic, or?
Yeah,
To apply for
Amacoy
the
Lake
gr-
Road, when you do the grants,
You have to have a traffic count,
you don't have to.
but it would help. Okay,
They say it would help if you had it.
okay,
And, well, maybe after we get it counted, we'll decide if we include that or not.
Yeah.
But I think we get a lot of traffic there. So, where we do wanna do a grant, it would be next year, we've always wanted to do a grant for 3 times now, is Amacoy Lake Road from Poppy Lane to S.
yes. It's
So-
like the overland trail.
It is, it's pretty bad. So that would be one area there.
Okay.
And then, they stay up for a week, and then, they just go to the county, they'll give you the chains, and you attach them to a post or something, so people don't walk off of them.
I guess you just gotta figure out
Where,
Yeah.
where and when you wanna do it.
And I mean, like, now it's not 4th of July anymore, so anytime now would be.
So somewhere between Poppy Lane and County Road F.
Yep.
okay, where's the other one gonna go?
We talked about,
I know, you said.
we talked about doing South Shore, but I don't know that we need to do that.
In South Shore, that'd be a hard placement, because you'd have to place it coming off of Highway 40 right away. Because most of the people that travel it are in that first mile,
Oh, yeah.
and then after that, then it's the Paul Lane to River Road. And that wouldn't give you a true count, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Tom and Brenda travel that a lot, and I travel that a lot, but I don't know how you place it.
Right. Well, and I think the only reason there was, cause we're not gonna be doing anything, with that road anytime soon, would be, if we talked about that, if we wanted to change the speed limit. If you have to do that if you wanna change it below 45. Then you have to have a count
Well, it wouldn't hurt to put one up
for a week.
and try it and see. The placement, I have no idea where you put it.
Well, except probably right off of Highway 40.
Off of 40 there by,
As good as any.
Before the first.
Before the first
corner
bend.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was, did we have another one, or was it just that
I
one?
thought there was a third
I
one.
thought there was, you mentioned something with Hutchinson, but it wasn't.
Yeah, you did.
South Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah, that would be, right, over here then, cause that would be our next stretch of road to do a
To
grant
take
on.
care of, yes. So those 3 places.
Yep, 3 places, so here, I guess it could be right out in front of Ron's house, so then you can keep an eye on it.
Well, I think you told me, Annie, that the county's got 2 of them available.
They do, except he said we can only have one at a
Well, I was
time.
gonna say, if we could get one, put it here, and
Yeah.
then there, and then there.
Yep, that sounds good.
Right, just a week at a time.
All I have to do is over to the county shop and,
You have to sign, but so we have to vote on this because,
Yeah.
Craig will sign for us, but, and I think I said this last time, if something happens to him, he thinks they're, I can't remember if it's between 1,800 and 2,000 to buy it, if they disappear, or you'd have to pay to fix it, it doesn't cost anything to use it.
Okay,
So, I mean, that's another thing too, because you know what, if something does happen to it, we gotta pay to
They
fix
can
it.
explain to me how to put it, how they want it done, so.
Yeah,
and, you know, we could electrify it, so then that way if someone was,
Yeah.
you know, with a lethal dose would work fine.
I thought about doing that.
that way we could catch them for sure.
I think normally they just chain it to one of like the stop ahead signs.
Yeah, put grease on it.
Grease is the answer to everything. Okay,
Don't you need a motion?
yeah, need a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to, go ahead and use the counters, the road counters for, the three roads that we mentioned, Hutchinson, South Shore, and Amacoy Lake from the county.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, Dave seconded. So a motion has been made and seconded to get do the three roads. Do you remember which ones they are now?
To set traffic counters on Hutchinson, South Shore, and Amacoy Lake roads for our grant.
Well, just to know, yeah.
It's in our traffic flow,
Traffic.
and
Just
then,
traffic.
then we can use that for grant
Grant.
applications.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Okay. That is it. Okay, discuss having one law firm for the town that is expert in municipal law. Should we table that till we need a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully it's a very long time. Discuss landfill committee membership and acknowledge Dave Kokenberger's resignation. I have a letter here. Dave to the town of Stubbs, I resigned from the town of Stubbs landfill negotiation committee on May 22nd, 2026. I informed Brad Bartels of my resignation at that time. Dave Kokenberger. So Dave has resigned from the landfill committee. I did talk to Justin about that. We can choose to pick another person then, cause right now it's Zach, myself, and Brad Bartels. And Brad said he's gonna stay on. So we can choose to pick another person or leave it at 3.
What's your preference?
It kinda sounds like we're toward the end here. I mean, it makes no difference to me, I'm fine leaving it at 3, but it makes no difference to me if we wanna. Dave, you can't be on again, cause we can only have 2 board members.
Yeah.
At the
No.
most. Oh, and Bob is gone.
Bob's going, yeah.
Um,
I think too, with coming to the end, we're kinda winding it down. We got 3 of them. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, I'd be relieved to be done with it. You know, to finish everything up, we've got all the details, I don't know what their counter offer is, but, I feel Brad knows what's going on, we've been updated quite a bit, and
You've
so,
been on it all from right from the
right from the
beginning.
beginning, so, yeah, I think 3 is fine, and, you know, I don't know if Tina set a date for you that we should meet, or,
that's something we'll have to discuss,
Okay.
cause, yeah, we gotta figure out a date to meet with them.
Right.
So, I was gonna talk to you about that tonight,
Okay.
then.
cause some days I can and some days I can't.
Right, so I thought,
Okay.
well, I'll let you, your days,
Okay,
and then go from there. So
sounds good.
we will be meeting, so agreement, you wanna just leave the 3 and not replace Dave then? Okay. And, yeah, that's, okay, discuss removing the unused chairman's cell phone from the bill will involve a contract penalty. Okay, Carolyn, what's the deal?
So I call Verizon, I'm told that in order to discontinue the line on this phone, that I have to pay $450 some because the contract isn't completed, it's a 2-year contract. Well, I said, whoa, where did this come from? Because all I recall is talking to the vendor, and he's talking about, you know, $35 a line a month and all this kind of stuff. And I said, oh no, you signed something saying you agreed, and I said,
Crooked buggers.
So I looked through to the thing that they sent me, and finally buried down, way at the bottom there in the thing, it does say that a 2-year contract is required. It doesn't say $450. Anyway, I sort of made stinky emails at the guy, and he said, well, you have to agree to pay the $450, and then I can go to my supervisor and wangle some sort of a credit. So then I looked at this and I go, okay, if we don't do this, then we continue paying $35 a month for this phone that no one's using. They won't take the equipment back, they don't care what kind of shape it's in, they don't care. So we have this phone forever and ever, and a line currently that's being paid for.
How many more months do we have to go on the contract?
Well, we only got it last year.
And I think in
July or
oh,
September
no.
or something, it wasn't, we didn't have it that long.
October, November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, or something.
I think it was more
Anyway,
late
so
like
it's
that.
like a long, long time, so it's
So,
like, well, is it cheaper to pay
Right.
your $35
$35
or is it cheaper to pay the $400 now and just get it over with, get it out of our universe? Or do we give it to one of the supervisors to use, you know?
is it 35 or 30 a month?
No, it's total of 74 something a month, so it's half of it, half per one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
it's like
let's,
36.
I'm just gonna say 36 a month
Yeah.
then. Well, that would be $432 for a year,
And we have more than a year to go,
yeah. We have a year and a half to go.
so.
Save
maybe
about
just
$100.
Pay it off and be done with it?
Pay the $400 and some dollars and be done. I mean, and that was,
If he agreed to, that you agreed to pay the 400, and then he said he'd go to his supervisor and see what they could
He
do,
would try and like
then
shave off
maybe
a
we could
credit.
save $100
They
or
might just tell me,
$200.
you know, it debts and say.
So by saying you agree to the 400 doesn't mean that you have to send them a check for 400 to say, yeah, we'll pay it, we'll see what kind of deal you can get us.
That I'm not sure, I need
That
to
doesn't make
clarify.
sense.
No, I don't.
I can actually.
He didn't say you had to send them a
Yeah,
check.
why would
Yeah.
they come back?
Send me a bill and wait for a check.
we might as well try this,
Yeah.
because it's gonna cost us more to keep, unless one of you guys, it's the, you know, chairman phone that I said, I have a hard enough time
The
with my own.
thing-
I got one phone, that's plenty.
The thing about, you know, the clerk phone, definitely all the traffic for the town stays on that phone.
Yep.
All the texting stays on that phone, anything, it's all town, you know, you can hand it over, it's just all it's town. And so it disconnects it from all your personal life.
Right.
And yeah, for me, that's.
And I get that,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and again, I don't know, you know, yeah, I don't know how much, see, I don't think that there's all this stuff to do anymore.
Right.
Anyway, okay, so, yeah, I can look into
See
that
what
and
kind of
tell
deal
him
you
what he
get.
wants.
Yep. And it just, let's just end that.
Is the phone good enough to sell?
And we are currently paying them through an ACH, we're paying them automatically.
Oh, okay.
So if we do, maybe we need to move that if he wants the money right away, that I can give him okay and he'll ding our account.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
so you need a motion
A
for
motion.
that.
I'll need a
saying.
motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, pay off, what did you say, it's $400?
$450.
$450, or less, based on whatever discussions you have with Verizon, the thieves of the electronic world. You can put that in the motion too.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Maybe we can sell that phone.
Yeah,
What do you think, Brian?
Just a thought.
I won't buy it, but I'm just.
No, I know. Have you done that? Have you sold phones before?
Really?
well, sometimes you can put them into a machine, I've seen machines where you can get money for
I
them.
think my daughter,
Really?
I think my daughter's smart enough to be
I
able
can't
to like
remember where I saw it, but.
clear it and make it like it was when it was brand
I
new.
don't know if you can go anywhere on the planet and walk in and say, I have this phone, will you put
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
a service on it?
We were looking for things to sell, cause we sold everything
Yeah.
now, so.
Well, right, we need something to sell
we
here.
might be selling something if Craig doesn't fix it.
So there are like Verizon does do things where like they give you a certain deal with a phone if you bring your own phone sometimes. So so it is something that could be, it's gotta be like an unlocked phone or whatever, there are little
Right, that's
Yeah.
something.
stipulations with it, but, I don't know enough that I would want to sell it for the town, I guess,
Yeah,
or list
no.
it. Like,
See what you can, see what Carolyn can do.
So when you did that contract, so we pay the 400, so then we own the phone. We didn't pay anything up front for the phone though.
Right,
Okay. Okay,
and
Well-
they don't want it back,
And
it's,
they-
they
good.
don't need it, there's nothing.
not worth it for them. They make too much money out of that.
I know one thing about if it can connect to Wi-Fi, it'll always work for that,
Yes,
so somebody's kid could just take it and use it for Wi-Fi only.
actually, it's a computer, you don't have to
Right.
have a
Yeah, it works
connection.
without a phone line.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so discuss possible donation to the beach establishment
I'm
project.
sorry, just finish that motion.
I seconded it,
Yeah, and we voted on it.
and we voted unanimously.
I'm happy with my rotary.
Okay, the beach party.
So, I think it's a good idea, long overdue, to be honest with you. Let people go there and swim and, I don't know what kind of, like John said, buoys, they want $500 for buoys. I don't know what kind of buoys we put in there, but I think it'd be appropriate to give a donation and have, would we contact Scott Goodis to go across the street and do all that? Is that the plan?
Well, I mean, they're gonna take care of it.
Oh, you're gonna take care
They're
of it?
gonna take care of it.
They
The
just got a
county is
donation,
working with
right?
Scott
With
Wittes.
Scott Goodis to do
And,
it,
yeah,
okay.
between
So what kind of
Alcoa
a
and-
donation?
Looking for a little bit more donation
Right.
to help with it, because then we're gonna have to redo some signage as well. So I don't know if that's actually included yet, because it's just up to 2,000 with, Scott.
Okay.
and then with the buoy,
The
One
buoys,
buoy is
and I'm
another
sure
500.
we'll,
One buoy?
I'm sure we.
That's
yeah, I'm
one.
sure we're
I
gonna.
wanna-
look
and-
into that
we can look into
A
that.
little bit more.
I got a beach ball.
Jim, you could be the
Put me out there, float with my white head, they know that there's something.
So, but yeah,
So are
just
you
a
looking at
little
like-
more
like-
support and help in it. I
Like
know.
2,500, is that?
What if we split?
I would think
Split it.
50-50 would be great.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say this, right now, Alcoa has not committed to anything yet. There's at the next Alcoa meeting, there's gonna be, this will be brought up and a vote will be asked for. I know that there's some people around the lake that like the idea a lot, and there's some people that don't. So I don't know what the buy-in is for the people in Alcoa.
Yeah, they might say,
No.
they would have to vote on it, and they might say, no, we don't wanna do a beach.
I
And
think the
so-
majority of the people want it, but the question, the real question is, they wanted to start this last month. The construction one, they wanted to start it, and we held it back. And if we could get a commitment out of the township to say 40%, 50%, whatever, then when the poll meets, they can move forward, contact the county and go with it. Otherwise, we're gonna lose this a year, we're gonna lose our
Right.
year.
And right now you've got, I mean, it is county-owned land, and, they've already okayed it, so if the county is already supporting it, and we've been trying to do this for years, I'm hoping that Alcoa will stick with it as well.
Is that your general feeling, is that they would support that? Or
I
there-
think,
is there a-
Pam thinks they will.
I have no problem designating an amount of money or a percentage to go towards the project to keep it going forward. I don't see a problem with it.
I don't either, I
It's,
think,
it's part of the town.
Yeah.
It's part of the people who live here and pay the taxes and do everything, and it benefits not just Stubbs, but it would benefit Bruce and the surrounding area and other
Yep.
people being able to come and swim. That's what lakes are for, public. So
So
I,
part of our budget would you take that from?
that would, what do you call it? Parks and Recreation.
yeah.
Your budget's right there, what does it say?
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I think it should put a dollar amount or a percentage on it.
What would you prefer?
Well, I guess I'm just Thinking of,
percentage would be good,
of what?
a percentage, so that we, cause like I said, we've got not only the excavating and stuff, but we have some signage coming up, and we'll try and get a good deal on the buoys, so I mean,
I would go with like 20, if we could ask for 2,500. Because that way, that allows some wiggle room. It also shows, the people, members of Alcoa, how the town feels about this strongly and supporting it. And hopefully,
I like
less
that idea.
resistance, you know, from those that might not. And it also allows us to, I think, probably to do a little bit more too.
What if we just offered 50%?
Yeah,
How much
yes.
money you guys got?
that's.
We
kinda
do
where-
have some money, I don't know what we have right now. We got a donation, we get like a yearly donation from the town, and I think, was it 2,500 or 2,000?
That's 2,500 a year. Yep.
And we use that for, weed harvesting this year. We did 2 days at a cost of $2,000 a day, so that was $4,000 in weed removal, which happened earlier in June. And that was,
We could make a commitment of 2,500 subject to approval of Alcoa, or we can 2,500 and do it.
I mean, 2,500 is gonna cover a lot of it.
2,500 is gonna cover a lot of it,
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost all of it.
yeah.
And I mean, I've been wanting that myself for a long time.
Move
so.
ahead with it, John.
I'll make a motion that we, budget 2,500 for the, what's it called, the beach establishment project, on Amcoy Lake.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried.
And thank you.
And thank
all
you guys
for
for
the-
the work that you guys do. I'm looking forward to this. Okay, care and upkeep of the graves of the veterans in the Apollonia Cemetery.
No, that was a big cost, was it not, or no? Was it 2,500?
No.
There was a quote from a company that would go in
That's right.
and dig them up and put them right and fix their stuff, and it was like $7,000.
It was like 7,000.
Right.
To do that in the Catholic cemetery.
But,
And
they
but we don't own the Catholic cemetery, that
Right,
we have
so
to,
it would
that's,
only be $5,000.
yeah.
And actually, the reason that it all came up was because at the county, they do pay something
Mhm,
to help take care of veterans' graves.
mhm.
And Brad knew this guy, and, this is what he does, he's from Ladysmith, and he did Strickland, he just got done with Strickland, I guess. But, anyway, so yeah, the $7,000, like, well, okay. Well, that's what Carolyn was gonna look into, what the grant does at the county,
Mhm.
they might pay a percentage, what did they say they thought they might do?
Well, when I first talked to Connie, she said it was $1 a grave. So then I got
That's
back
not
to Rick, and he says, no, that's not what it is. And then he turned me on to this lady over here in Island Lake, and she said, no, it's a percentage of the number of graves you have, plus, whatever.
Oh, okay, yep,
So then I was trying to get a count, and Rick gave me a count, I have it on email, so I haven't had a chance yet to go back to the county and say, oh, okay, here's what you pay Island Lake, would you pay us if we sent you a bill?
Yeah.
Because that's basically what you do, is you go fix the graves and you keep track of the cost, and then you send them a bill and they pay you a check the following year.
and I think, did they say it was like, so, if you did the veterans' graves, if they were, 1/3 of your whole cemetery, maybe they would pay 1/3 of the bill? Is that something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll find out, we don't know enough right now, and we'll see, but I mean, if there is money available and we can fix the veterans' graves.
Well, actually, not to count your chickens ahead of time, but the amount of money increased from the tipping fees is significant. So there's certainly gonna be an additional resources there for a lot of things. It's a big jump. So, there's a potential there that we can absorb that. And the nice thing, people, I hope they realize that they don't have to pay a town tax, and we don't have a levy.
Right,
And I've had one for over 30 years.
30 years, and we
Yeah.
got rid of it, and, we're with the landfill and their commitment, and the amount of money it's increasing, we're in good shape to do good things to help people and take care of people. And that's what government should do,
Yeah.
not take things away.
Cause I think a couple of years ago, we talked about maybe, I know the board talked about, maybe we do need to have a little bit of a levy if it costs
Okay.
$200,000 to blacktop a mile of road, and, you know, you
Yep.
get $200,000 a year from the landfill, but, so,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we were, because it's like,
Right.
and actually the landfill has gone up in the last couple years. You know, I mean, it goes up 3% every year, but they must just be getting more, cause I mean, I know one year we only got $158,000, that's not very
During-
much.
yeah.
And it was 175.
there were some years where their tonnage went down.
Yeah,
Or right now, based on you're getting about 240, if it's 60,000 a quarter.
yeah, we didn't get that much last year, it was over 200, but,
From waste management?
yeah,
Yeah.
last year,
Hold on just a second.
okay.
Don't get me wrong, I don't like taxes any more than anybody else, but, I mean,
Well, what happened is that we would levy, we had a $32,000 levy, and then we got back 32,000. And the argument was, when we discussed it, was why tax people and get the money back.
that, when you had a levy, that's what it was, it
Yeah.
was 32,000.
And we decided, let's not tax people. And so that saves the people a fair amount of money.
Oh, no.
You know, I mean, and my position always has been is that if roads get bad and some of them go to gravel, a lot of towns have to go back to gravel.
Yeah.
You
Big
know,
Bend's about 50%.
because the cost of blacktop is, with the price of oil and everything is so high that, you know, you make choices.
Yep.
And
I remember when that happened, because my dad was on the board then, and I suggested then, don't take it totally off, just leave a little bit on, because once you take something off, to put it back on is kinda hard.
Well, we realized that you had to have a public vote on that in order to get it back on. It has to go to a vote,
Right.
and I figured, well, let people decide, you know, if they wanna pay for a county jail and counties and schools and all that stuff, just keep on paying.
Yeah,
Okay, and tipping fees, last year's the 4 quarterly payments, 280,000 and change.
Last year?
Yeah, in January, 67,000, April, 56,000, July, 79,000, and October, 77,000.
See, but that was good.
And we're looking at a significant increase in that,
Yeah,
to be honest.
okay,
alright,
good.
let's move on.
So the clerk update on the landfill passes and building permits.
Deb Figueroa got a replacement pass, and Chuck Pappas got a replacement pass, and the Zwiefelhoffers are building a cabin, and they got a building permit.
Is that the ones that have that the old store?
I don't know, I was gonna ask where are they building, I was just curious.
I mean, like a little store down there.
Yeah,
Wasn't that them?
They're on W11605 River Ridge Lane.
River Ridge,
Oh, River Ridge Lane.
River Ridge.
By
that's,
Bruce.
that's up by Bruce.
Okay.
And
Okay.
The old Compton farm. That's what it is up there,
Oh, okay, it's the
Yeah.
farm,
the farm.
okay.
Well, yeah, River Ridge Land, yeah.
Or wait, the farm is on River Ridge
River
Court.
Ridge, River Ridge Court,
Yeah,
Court,
it's
yeah.
the farm, and
Yeah.
River Ridge Court is off of River
the
Ridge.
River
Yep.
Ridge Land, before you get, just before you get to the cul-de-sac, it'd be on the right hand
Oh
side.
yeah, that's a tax issue.
A couple of cabins in there, that must be one of them.
This is okay, approve the monthly bills. We don't have to transfer any funds, right? Correct. Okay, that won't be in it, so we just have to approve the bills, which, I had looked through them before, Was there any question on any of the bills? He had the,
Here's the actual checks.
these are the
Well-
checks. Which,
The one question I have, but I think I answered, you're talking from what shows up on his check deposit registry, Annie?
yeah,
The only
Oh.
question I had,
same one I do that.
but I think I solved it. There was a check written in Laceman News
Yeah.
that said the Hyde liquor notice for $1,166, but that was for the liquor notice and various other notices.
Yeah, that was all kinds of notices.
Yeah, that's
If
what
you
I,
look
Oh,
on
and
the,
it,
if you look on the
Yeah.
invoice detail that's attached,
yeah.
it breaks down all the.
It was the Hyde liquor notice, a public test notice, notice of recall election
Yeah.
notice, type B notice with ballot.
The recall election, I calculated cost us about $5,000
oh, wow.
It costs that much.
between the notices. The programming of the machine was a special programming, so it was an extra $1,000. There was the cost of ballots and paying
Paying
people.
people.
and-
So
Less,
that was.
way less than some of our attorney bills.
Very true.
Way
Paying
less
the
than,
road.
you're right, way less.
But it just caught my eye because, but I think the way your report, it just grabs the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to Bob about this, but it's not high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do I need to fill out anything, Carolyn?
Yeah, you'll need to fill out a W-4 form.
That's it?
I think so.
I'm just gonna, these are just all the, checks. These are kind of sticking together here.
Excuse me.
Joanne, it's Joanne.
Yeah.
When's the next meeting? I can't look at my calendar.
Alias,
People know
that's
you
my
as
alias.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
11th or
I
10th?
did,
10th?
It's the first Monday, right? Yeah.
No, second Monday.
Or second Monday, I mean, yeah.
8, 10, okay, thank you.
That's the Verizon.
Sure.
It's hardwood. Fleet Pride.
Oh, I forgot another announcement.
I'm glad we got two-ply toilet paper there.
If you're done with them, Dave, I'll take it, so I can sign it. Yeah, Carolyn has an announcement she forgot about, so she'll make it.
forgot about it. On the postage, I don't know if you were paying attention, but for the last, since I've been buying postage, I've been getting it for half price at various little websites and things. Well, I've come to find out that if you can get the stamps for half price, the vendor did not come by them
Legally.
honestly.
Oh, really?
They're either stolen, or they've been created in Singapore or something, and, you know, they, yeah, so it's actually very illegal to use them. And I'm like,
But we bought
oh, nobody's.
Yeah,
gonna
she
sign
was.
it.
She's been doing that
Now,
right here.
could you say that again? He wants to zoom in on you as you're
Yeah.
making this
It's on record,
confession.
too.
Cut the
But
camera.
anyway,
No more
so,
half price
no more
deals.
half price, I have to buy them at $78 a pop.
Can I get the name of that vendor?
Yeah.
Look on the internet.
So,
There's all
yeah,
kinds of
I
them.
started to
Yeah.
look, you know,
Yes, there is.
What are our total, costs for fire protection
40-some.
for the town of, for the fire department for Bruce, 40-something thousand?
Oh, no, Bruce is, well, doesn't it?
We had a $14,000 payment, and then we made 4
We
payments.
make two payments.
Two payments, so it's
For
28,000
something, and then we're
And
also
warehouse are-
20, getting close.
the system at, we got the
That
children
makes
and
sense.
the fire
Yes,
chief.
yes.
Yep.
And we're
The
supposed
official
to
site
put that
does have
into
sale
the
on
fire
stuff.
department. So that's why this is taxes all paid, because it's got the fire dues and there's.
And where else are we listing what?
They just,
Well, warehouses will lay back.
Where, how much they are.
So,
I would say,
this, the payment for, Weldon Riley, one is $49. But the, down below is 3,800.
It's confusing, they keep sending us statements, they keep saying.
seems like the way to go is you just load up on those forever stamps and then that way as the price
We
goes
don't
up,
know if
their
it's,
stamps are so good.
Yeah.
do they separate the
Yeah.
waste management, negotiations from
They
the,
do line items of what their charges
well, that
are.
should be a
So
regulated.
that particular one, just because they talked to me,
At some point, I think we should ask them to give us a report of what they have built up for waste management.
right, because then we can submit that to them, and then they would pay for that 20,000, so we should, we would recover.
But I think you wanna,
There you go.
I'll see if it's possible to stay on their bills and get
I was gonna say, even if we get a report from them, we might want to double check it just to make sure, because they're not perfect.
Well, we know whenever meetings are.
Oh, yes, if we have to, yeah, we're gonna get charged.
spring fed.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, yes, well,
That
makes
Oh,
Okay, we got,
You gotta be
we
kidding.
were asked well to do it, no, every time I write a report, saying,
Which
is not and it's $49.
Yep. If you call them, it's a minimum of $41 to.
And every meeting that we had would be identified, we could look at, and the length of each meeting, and the time when we started, and when we adjourned. And then his time driving over here and driving back, so we would know approximately.
Oh, it's all people, yeah.
That's okay.
Is that,
Because he did a lot of research and communications, we don't know what communications he had.
I guess we are not from the
Oh, yeah, there you go. So I mean,
And I
there's
know
no
they
way
were,
we're
they were going back and forth, but we have to, we do have to ask them. What are, to give us an idea.
Well, we do it, and so they have to have the year, and we have to figure out.
Oh, really? No, we would then submit the bill to waste management.
The party's not over.
Yeah.
I mean, the meeting's not over. You can't start the party yet.
So if they have to go and figure it out, then that's included.
I couldn't wait.
Just run a report out of
Can I
this.
get a motion to approve the bills?
So move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next meeting date,
Is August 10th.
August tenth?
He loves
Okay,
his
yeah,
sweets.
August tenth?
And
Okay, thank you. Is our next meeting? Motion to adjourn?
I'm so moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please help yourself. Lemonade.
Cookies and lemonade, everybody.
And they are giving things down.